So don't be afraid to try something that you don't like. Follow it through the end, because you have no idea where it's taking you. It's one more tool in your toolbox. I'm Eric Hollenbeck. Welcome to Tales from the Ox. As many of you know, we have a high school program here. This is the high school students going to do the blacksmith shop, but the point I wanted to make, we've had this high school program for 22 years now. And the point I wanted to make is that we have all of these different shops. You know, we're a millwork shop. We're supposed to make millwork. Oh, what are we doing with the blacksmith shop? What are we doing with the machine shop? What are we doing with the foundry, with the lapidary, with the ceramics? Over the course of time, this was Eric's bent. You know, we didn't have any money growing up. And we weren't poverty stricken. We had a house, but we didn't have any money. So it was always do for yourself. And then in Vietnam, I got to tell you folks, there ain't no cavalry coming over the ridge. That don't happen. You're going to do for yourself. And I spent my entire tour with that premise. But my friends, there's a blessing in that. And that's what you got to look for all the time. You got to look for that blessing. So this is our foundry. And I got this, here I could open this. Actually does open. See, this is a little foundry. This is a crucible. And this is a foundry in here. This is an old man foundry, by the way. Let me get my light then. See down here, folks? That's an old cross-cut drag saw blower. And a little motor runs a drag saw blower. This is kerosene. And then it goes into this old man foundry. And lights on fire. And the fire comes swirling in at an angle. It goes around and around and around. And then you put your material in here, brass, aluminum, or copper. We've gone all the way, been to copper. And copper's pretty high. I think copper's 1875. Oh no, 1985. 1985 degrees. That's pretty goddamn hot. And we have successfully melted copper in here. So we have all these different shops. So I asked the students when we had our full school here, you're brand new here. Everything's brand new. All I ask you to do is try each one of the stations. Try them. Go in and try them. And then when you find the one that you like the best, then that's where you're going to go. That's what you're going to do. Now, what's the importance in that? Come, let me show you. Oh, look at these. Oh, hi, ladies. It's going to be spring. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is the lapidary shop. Lapidary, folks. What in the world is a lapidary shop doing in a millwork shop? It doesn't make any sense until you listen to my whole story. What we are trying to do with the students is two things. Number one, it even has a name now. It's called cross-training. So that when you run into a problem, you're a woodworker, and you run into a problem you cannot solve with wood, if you are cross-trained a little bit, you know metal exists. Maybe you can fix a problem with metal. You know glass exists. You know ceramics exists. You know these other trades exist. And if you've dabbled in them just a little bit, then it's part of your collective memory. I'm going to come back to that in just a second, okay? And the end of the story. But it comes back to you. So this is what I want. This is what I show the students. So let's say you're a blacksmith. You make a hook. You see this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful hook is tapers down to very little, has a very nice little twist at the end. The back is totally flat, so it'll go against the wall and be a beautiful hook. Man, you're on it. You're a good smithy. The problem with that is that every blacksmith in the country is making little hook taper with a little spindle. It's great. And they're good smithies too. But if you are cross-trained, you could take a stone and in the lapidary with the saws and the grinding and the polishing and all that, you could turn it into a beautiful gem. You could make a punch, because you're a blacksmith, of a certain size. You could punch this and all of a sudden put a gemstone in it. And my friends, you have just taken a giant step away from all your competition. Same thing in, come on, Coop. Woodworking. So this is a box. See, you made this beautiful redwood box. Gorgeous. Redwood box. Well, again, if you can be cross-trained a little bit, because they're all making boxes. But look what this one did. One of the students made a gem to put in the top of the box, and all of a sudden took a giant step. Now, let me bring this all around, please. Collective knowledge. What is the collective knowledge of the society. How do we live on this planet comfortably with what's around us? Our collective knowledge has changed, of course. Now it's how do you use a cell phone or a ATM or, but there are remnants of that collective knowledge. And I've thought for a long time now that Blue Ox is an arc of knowledge. What is that collective knowledge? How do you do for yourself? How do you make your own glue if you're a woodworker? We'll go into that one of these times. How do you make your own paint? We'll go into that. How do you make your own stains? We'll go into that. Okay, so that's the first thing about cross-training. Number 2 is by having the students try everything once. I remember one time, see, in the ceramic shop, and we'll go in there, not today, but we take the kids up in the mountains around us, and we dig our own clay bodies and bring it down. Gets them out and gets them in the woods, and I mean it's fun. You know, it's a fun little outing, and we and then we slack the clay and do all that. Okay, so I had this student come up to me, and we also collect minerals and try. We ain't very good at it yet, but we try to make our own glazes. So he comes up to me and he says, you know, I hate that ceramics. I really don't like it. I say, yeah, how come? He says, it's dirt. Oh, for God's sakes, it's mud. You're working with mud. And I don't like the feel of it on my hands. There isn't anything about that I like. I don't like the firing. I don't like the making it. I don't like the drying. I don't like none of that stuff. But when we tried to make our own glaze from minerals, now I really like that. Really, really, really much. And how do I increase my knowledge there? He didn't say it that way, but how do I get more information there? So out of nowhere, out of something that he hated, that kid hated that muddy old ceramics. We may have just gotten our next geologist or chemist because they tried something they didn't like. So don't be afraid to try something that you don't like. Follow it through the end, because you have no idea where it's taking you. It's one more tool in your toolbox. And that's cross-training, my friends. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And you can also watch videos here and here.